Hi everyone, I'm the Plant Propagator and welcome to my channel. Today, it feels like I'm in Florida, but I'm not. I am in the Midwest US, and there is a, well, for these guys, there's a heat wave that's coming through. So for me, this is like a perfect day. I was outside most of the day yesterday working in the yard at our place in the Midwest, and today I am over at the Plant Propagator Jr.'s house. She's actually out of town, so I snuck in, do a little yard work to surprise her, and I'm gonna also show you a little bit of her orchid collection. She has orchids tucked away everywhere, and you know, my attitude on this and the theme of today is that there are no excuses not to have orchids. Now, she might have a few too many of them, and they don't look great because the conditions here aren't the same as the conditions that I have in Southwest Florida. But you know, she has a lot of orchids, and they look mostly pretty good. So I don't know if you can see, so there's an orchid in this pot here. There's a vanda. Not too many people here in the Midwest go vandas, but there's a vanda here. There's a looks like this is a catasetum there. She's got a lot of catasetums and vandas. Go figure. Vanda. I can't tell. I think that's a cattleya. What's hitting me in the back is a vanda. So she has them just everywhere. So she brings them inside her house in the winter time when it gets too cold, and they don't grow a whole lot. They just kind of sustain and survive. And then in the summertime she brings them out, and I got here about a week ago and it was a little cool when I got here, but they're outside and they look pretty good. So it was a little cool, but now I looked at you know, the weather on my cell this morning, and it was about the same temperature here as it is in Southwest Florida. So this happens occasionally, and then what happens is, so it's warm, it's humid, not as much wind as I get, and it's actually, the reality of it is, even though we're under a heat advisory, the heat index, so factoring in the humidity, is only going to get up to about 100 degrees Fahrenheit, which is, for me, comfortable. So it's just fine. So it's hot for them, but it's great for me, and it's great for the orchids. What I wanted to do, I'm going to get behind the camera and show you some of the orchids that she has hidden away in various places, and some of them are really hard to get to. So she's got a weeping cherry that she's got, and the weeping cherry is a canopy, and I look, and there's just orchids shoved in underneath the canopy of this cherry. Then she has a Japanese maple, and she's got, again, orchids shoved in there. This is a Bradford pear, and from looking at this provides like the perfect shade because it's not really dense cover. It's not like being underneath an oak or a maple tree. So this is a Bradford pear, and it's just the right amount of shade. So it's kind of dappled shade. The sun gets through to all of these plants, but it looks pretty good. Anyway, the reason I'm sitting under here and under the Bradford pear is because when I was looking around her collection, even though she's not here, I came across this. And these are a bunch of seedlings that I sent her. And it's interesting because the reality of, when I look at this, wow, these look really good. They're a little dry for my you know, for how I think they should be, but these are some of my seedlings. And here, I got to show you this. This is Dendrobium woohoo. and it's not flowering, but it still looks okay. So it's doing, and so Dendrobium woohoo is the one that I showed you that was flowering. That's about 2 years from seed. And actually it's not even quite 2 years from seed, but in her collection they're doing really well. So there is a you know, in here it's mostly Cattleyas, but I'm looking through all of these, and she puts them underneath the tree. It's been really dry here. I think she comes out and sprays them occasionally, but for the most part, the you know, the summer rains, when they come through, it waters them and they're fine. Again, most people kill their orchids from overwatering, and it's been really dry here. So these plants might be a little stressed, but they're all growing and they're all still alive and they look okay. She puts her plants out here and I don't think she cares for them very much. So the overwatering that most people suffer with is not an issue for the Plant Propagator Jr. And these plants, again, all look good. This is, I mean, you know, this is a this is a seedling, but you know, a new pseudobulb coming out here looks good. You know, again, for my taste, this is a little bit dry, but you know, it's okay, and they're all good. So anyway, what I want to do is get behind the camera, and we'll start here so we can take a look at these plants a little more closely, and then we'll just kind of take a lap around this tree. I would guess, and we're not going to look at all of them, I would guess she probably has maybe 75, 50 to 75, but probably closer to 75 plants hanging in just this one small tree. So we'll take a look, not at everything, but we'll take a look at because some of them really are very hard to get to, and it's hard to film and kind of move things out of the way in order to see all of the orchids that are buried in the various trees. She also has a lot of orchids on her back patio, and that's shaded by an oak tree. And we may or may not take a look at some of the plants there. All right, so let me get behind the camera and show you what she has. Okay, before we get started, I just want to give you an overview. And so this is her tree. And again, this is just a small Bradford pear, but this is her tree, and everything is about at the right level. One thing I should mention is that she's in a small city, but she's in a city, and I don't know if you can see brick road. Maybe you can't see. Yeah, brick road in front of her house. So she's in a small older town here in the Midwest, and so she doesn't have, this is at a, if there were deer here, she'd be in trouble. And I think she's seen a few deer, but they're not here, and they can't reach up and grab her orchids, and that's a lot of times that's a problem. So some of the house that I was visiting a few days ago, they have a lot of deer issues, and I even at my house, I have a lot of hosta that are just chewed down pretty bad, because when no one's there, the deer get to them. Okay, so this is an overview, and you can kind of get an idea for the number of orchids that she has. Everything, again, is hanging here, and she's got them in all of these kind of colored buckets and other types of containers. She's got a lot of baskets here, and I guess she's economical and saves money. A lot of times the baskets are broken. So I just wanted to give you an overview of the orchids that she has hanging in her tree. They're not up very high because she can't reach them when they're up that high, and she just comes out here and places them in the tree. All right, but let's start with the first ones that I showed you, and these are the seedlings. And I actually, rather than bringing them to her, I shipped them to her. I did bring a bunch of seedlings up here, but I'm not sure who will be getting those. She has plenty. But anyway, so these are some of the seedlings that I gave her that and they're, like I said, they're doing pretty well. She's got them, you know, all in this one container, but they're doing okay. All right, taking a look around, and I don't know, these are her orchids, and I don't know them. I do know that like this is a catasetum, and most of her catasetums are from Sunset Valley, so they're Fred Clark catasetums. So we'll highlight some of those maybe. This here is a catasetum to me. It looks, actually it might not be a catasetum. Anyway, but it's in the I guess the same group. So looks a little dry. There is a, behind this catasetum, she's got some cattleyas here. There's a Vanda. Nothing's, I should mention that not much is blooming in the, what she gets a lot in the summer is just kind of survival. Another, oh, where is it? Right there. So that's another Vanda. Again, doesn't look great, but still, you know, decent growth, and they're alive. Boy, that doesn't look good at all, does it? Okay, this cattleya this is coming over the edge of the pot. She needs to get back. You know, she still works. She has this job thing she has to do, and she's out of town. But this is really crawling over the edge of the pot, and she does need to repot that. Moving over here, this is another fairly large cattleya right here. Another cattleya growing right here, but you know, new growth. They're again, nothing's blooming, but they're thriving. They're doing okay. And some of these I can't see. So another cattleya there, and I can tell from the tag there that's a cattleya from Sunset Valley. So that's a Fred Clark hybrid there. And I should also mention, so these baskets that she has is going in, there's no holes in the basket, so what she has to do is come out here periodically and dump the water out of them. Another cattleya there, you know, Vanda up here in the tree, and again, they don't look great, but they're putting out new growth. So when they have the nice the nice green roots growing out of them, you know, it's okay. They're doing all right. And again, her philosophy and her approach is kind of have these things survive in the wintertime and then bring them out. So one of the few blooms, I think this is probably, from looking at it, this may be a relatively recent purchase. That's a small fowl. So she's got some other fowls in here. As we back up a little bit, there's another Vanda. She likes putting these pieces of fabric in the basket to kind of maintain the high humidity around the roots. I'm not sure how useful it is, but that's what she does, and they do well. There's another Vanda right here. I think it's hard to see as I'm staring up into the light, but what you can see on this is some of the root, focusing on the tree, but some of the roots that you can see, you know, they got the nice green root tips, so they're doing okay in this situation. Again, more combination of things, but you can see the tag, or at least I can, Sunset Valley, so it looks like a Fred Clark catasetum in there. Again, these things, she's just got them tucked into every corner. I think, so there's a seed capsule right there. I don't know if her plan is for me to flask the seed from that capsule, but I'll do it for her. Okay, anyway, more, and you can't see, a lot of these things are hidden, so what's in the blue basket, I don't know, it looks like a cattleya, I don't know what it is. Then over here we have, so there's another cattleya in there. There's cattleya, I think I'm looking at it right there, that's falling out of that bucket right there. One of her most vigorous Vandas is right here. So this thing is just, I mean, look how the roots are grabbing on to this, and how this thing is doing really so well. I think this is one that she has got to bloom repeatedly for her, and it does pretty well in this environment. Brings it out again, you get that incredible amount of root growth. Little small Vanda right here. Let's take a look. So I think, yeah, so this is from RF. So she does get, most of her Vandas do come from RF. There's another Vanda right there, and I don't know if, again, I can't tell what's focusing, but you can see the nice root growth coming out. You know, those are all green new roots coming out of those. But a lot of her Vandas are from RF. Her Cattleyas tend to be from, you know, from Fred Clark. The Catasetum's also from Fred Clark. So she loves shopping. I think, you know, I don't know, she's at the point now where she has enough plants. I think she just likes to keep on buying. She has the disease that everyone else has, where there's too many plants. Okay, so what we're gonna do is switch trees and head over to a weeping cherry, and we'll see what kind of plants are in there. Okay, this is the weeping cherry right here, and this is gonna be challenging, and this is probably around 10 feet away from the sidewalk in front of her house, and you know, lots of traffic. This is again, it's one of the main streets in this town that she's in, and they're buried in there, and you wouldn't know it when you walk by that she's got probably about another 15 or 20 orchids in this tree. So anyway, and I don't think we're going to be able to see much just because it's so, they're just packed in here so much. But this is that's a Vanda right there. So we move down, there's a Cattleya in the orange bucket. There is so we look over here, that's Sunset Valley, looks like can't even tell what it is. It's not alive. Another Vanda next to it. I don't even know what's in the pink bucket. Looks like another Cattleya. Looks like a Vanda that's in the basket behind the tree right about there. Another Sunset Valley in the pot that's behind the tree. Vanda to the right of the tree. What do we got here? Looks like it looks like a Catasetum there. I can't even tell. Anyway, she's got, I mean, there's one that's right here that is that's an Odom's Orchids right there. That's okay. That's a good vendor too. So that's an Odom's. It looks like that. They have mostly Cattleyas at Odom's. So again, she's got all these, I don't even know what's in the blue bucket. There's a stainless steel bucket right there. I don't even know what, okay. Anyway, she's got them just crammed in every spot. Again, no excuses for not growing orchids when, you know, there's always lots of room, and apparently lots of room for more. Now, I'm not sure I subscribe to this, because eventually you do get to the point where you just don't have any more space, but she finds room and puts things there. The next plant that we're going to go to is right, so again, there's the street, there's the sidewalk, and right there is the Japanese maple, and believe it or not, you can kind of see at the lower left, right in the middle of the screen now, you can see a Cattleya kind of revealing itself, but there's probably about another 25 orchids in this. It's a Japanese maple. Okay, let's take a closer look at this. Okay, we are now at the Japanese maple, and this is a nice tree, even though it's kind of getting big. It needs to be trimmed up, I think, a little bit. I don't know if you're supposed to do that with Japanese maples or not. But this is, you know, it is probably around, I guess around 5 feet tall, a little less than 2 meters, and it just kind of grows sideways. And the thing is, we're really close to the brick street, and when you can, you know, the road here, I mean, this is really close, and when the cars go up and down this road, you can hear them, and it's a main road, so we'll be able to hear cars throughout the taking a look at the rest of this. All right, so and I can't get in there, but what you can see, because of the color buckets that she uses for her orchids, you can see, I don't know if you can see, there's a yellow one right there, a red one right there, there's another red one right there, and behind it, I think you can see, maybe not, there's a blue one, here's another red one that's in the center of the screen right here. But you can't even see them because she's got them buried in there so much. So it's tough. And the ones that you can't see, believe it or not, there's orchids back in here. No, we can't see them. And it's harder to see because it's a basket that has clay pots in it, and I can barely read from my angle Sunset Valley Orchid tag in that one, but I can't even see what kind of plant that it is. Okay, anyway, that was a little, let's go take a look at the one that was sticking out that we could see. So again, this is right here, this is the one that we saw before, and this is a cattleya that is just peeking out. Seems to be doing okay. Don't know what it is. They're not blooming. I think when they bloom, she pulls them out and puts them in her backyard. Okay, we are going to take a look at one more space that she has. I don't even know if she's got extras hidden anywhere else, but we're going to take a look at her back patio and take a look at a few plants there. Okay, this is the last space that we're going to go visit, and I guess she's been traveling a lot. I talked to her. I know she's been really busy at work, and they're not getting overwatered, I'll tell you that. These are really pretty dry. Even the ones that are in the buckets, these are non-draining buckets, even those are dry. And so I don't think that there's been much rain here, and I don't think she's been watering them, but again, these guys, orchids are tough, so they are surviving and even thriving and putting out new growth. So you know, I don't think they look great, but they're doing okay. And you can see, I mean, in this plant, the base of this, I don't know if it's an oncidium, I think it is, but there's a new growth coming out of that. You know, but the ones that she's got a variety of different potting mix. I think the one on the end there is in that looks like a Vanda, is in lava rock. She's got a lot of things in moss. She's got, oh, here's this one right here. That is, you know, that's it. It's just shoved in there. I think this needs to be repotted. She's got this that is in perlite. This is yeah, I guess it's an oncidium-like. I don't see a tag on it, but when you look at the base, you've got this new growth and you've got new roots coming out of it. But it does need water. Again, this is perlite, and then she's got them in this plastic container and burned holes in it, so you can get water that'll accumulate in the bottom and then drain out these holes. So she's kind of into semi-hydro, that approach. Back here, and I think she likes it, but she experiments with different stuff. She's got just, I don't know, a bunch of different things that are going on. Here's a Neophonetia falcata right here that looks pretty good, that's putting out a lot of new growth. There is, and this is the first one I haven't seen in Norman's orchids. She does buy stuff from Norman. So that's a Norman's orchids dendrobium. There is a cattleya. I got to pull this out and see what it looks like. And if I scream, oh, it's in a pot. Okay. But, you know, it needs to be repotted. I mean, there's nice, look, you know, there's nice new pseudobulb coming out with decent looking roots, and that's a Fred Clark. But I think it might need, what do you think? I think it might need a new pot for that. And here is there's a dendrobium right here, and it's got just a ton of keikis. I might just snag one without telling her. She gives me plants. I think she'll be okay. Maybe I should ask, or maybe I should just take it. Look, there's a Palmer orchid right there. I wonder if she picked that up when we were there together, or whether, I'll look at the label and figure it out, or whether she just bought it from mail order. Here is this orchid right here that's in sphagnum, that is just sitting in, I guess, the pot. There's no pot there anymore. It's just sitting in sphagnum. There's another, I don't know if you can see right there. That's another Vanda right there. Anyway, she doesn't have the time, I guess, to put the attention into the orchid. I mean, the big effort is she brings them, you know, inside every year. Maybe she uses that as an opportunity to clean them up. But or maybe I should come over here and we can do this together. That would be a fun thing for me to do with my daughter. Anyway, that's all I have for today. I just wanted to share with you some of the orchids. I think this is something, I'm not sure where else they are. I don't want to go in her house, but I'm doing yard work outside, so I thought it'd be fine to take a look at these orchids that are outside. But again, I just wanted to share with you, and just again to reiterate, there, you know, no excuses for not having some orchids, regardless of where you live. If you put the effort into them, you can get them to grow nice. And again, not many of these are flowering, but she enjoys the challenge, and a lot of them though are growing really nicely, putting out some new growth. After they come outside, they get exposed to this higher humidity and higher temperatures, and they tend to like that and put out a surge of growth. All right, that's all I have for today. I hope you enjoyed my video. If you did and you want to keep on seeing them, it would help me out if you can click on like, share, and subscribe to my channel if you're not already a subscriber. All right, that's all I have again. I hope you enjoyed it, and happy propagating.